Hi, everybody. You are in organizing your thoughts and creating a book line. Sorry, a book outline, which I will also call a book line. Hi, my name is Mimi Thrasher, and I am here to support you with getting that story that's inside you outside. We all have something very unique and important to tell future generations. 100 years ago, when we did not have technology, the only way we could learn is from our own experience, our own journey, and maybe those of our immediate family and or our village friends and people. Communities were a whole lot smaller and learnings were a lot less, I wouldn't say easy to come by, but there weren't as many of them to come by. Now that we have technology, we can learn from people across the world, and as long as they're documented. So this is about having you maybe get present to what you could be speaking about in a specific topic. A lot of us has many stories to tell and don't know where to start. Some of us think they don't have a story to tell. But let's look a little bit about how you can create that. So a little bit about myself. Oh, look at that. My thing doesn't want to turn the page. There we go. I am already an Amazon best-selling author of a book called Success Without Stress, and it's all about time management. I've been a phenomenal time manager since my mother gave me my first agenda book when I was 14. And everything that I do is inside of supporting people or supporting the planet with peace. And I discovered that in that journey that when people have inner peace, the world will have outer peace. And how I've chosen to impact peace right now is to give people a place and a voice to be heard for all those phenomenal things that they have that they can share, so that humanity, future generations of humanity, can stand on our shoulders. If you want to know a little bit more about me, you can go to my website, mimithrasher.com, and there's a About Mimi page, or even my LinkedIn page is also a good place to do that. All right. So the intention of this workshop is that you walk out of here with a book outline, or let me put it this way, an outline for whether you're writing a book or you're writing a chapter in a book called a book collaboration, either one. And I will also let you know what is next. And the reason for that is not because I'm trying to sell you something. It's because writing a book is only, or writing your manuscript is only one portion of getting a book off the ground. All right. So, I have to go over here. There we go. So this is what the next little while is going to look like. I'm going to bring you through an 8-step exercise to create your outline. I'm going to talk to you about what might be next in the process for you. And I'm going to say I'll give you an opportunity for some Q&A, but there may or may not be Q&A depending on if you have any questions. And I think what I'll do for people who might be looking at this recording, I will also include, if you want to get in touch with me with your Q&A, I'll include either a link to my calendar or my email address, and you can get in touch with me and we can do it that way. All right, so let's get started. Choose your topic for this exercise. You may have, 5 topics. Doesn't matter. If you have more than one, just pick one for the purpose of this exercise, because then you can use this exercise for all the other topics. And grab a piece of paper or open a document on your computer, and I'll give you a few seconds to do that. And I'm just looking at my phone here to get my timer up. That's it. Awesome. All right, now if you see me looking in this direction, I'm looking at my other screen where I actually have the slideshow up, and this way is the camera. I'm paying attention to you no matter where I'm looking. All right, let's get started. All right, step number 1. You know which topic you want? Write down 15 points that you would like to make about that topic. So that's 15 things that you want to say about that topic. All right. Pause the recording and do that now. Okay, welcome back. You should now have about 15 points on your topic. That's how we're going to start, and we're going to start like molding it like you would a sculpture. All right, let's go to step 2. Step 2 is to make 3 groups out of everything that you wrote down. So you may find, let's say you're doing a book about health and vitality, and you're talking about exercise or the body. You may find you want to put one group is the upper body, one group is the trunk, one group is the lower extremities. Just group your subjects into 3 different areas. Pause the recording and do that now. Okay, so you may find that there are some points in your groups that may be so similar, so close together that they could be duplicates. So look at merging them or eliminating one of them. But you should leave yourself with 3 points in each of your 3 groups. No less than 3 points. Pause and do that now. Step 4. Step 4, I get to share with you the 231 technology. And the 231 technology is something that I learned in a course I took about speaking called Magnetize Your Audience. I can't remember the name off the top of my head of the girl who did it, but she talked about creating a flow in which was going to cause impact. So now you're going to order your groups in order of importance. So group number 1 is going to be the most important. Group number 2 is going to be the second, and group number 3 is going to be the third. So pause this video and take a moment to do that now. Awesome. So the 231 technology says you start off with group number 2. And then you write about group number 3. And then you end off with group number 1. And why you do it that way is you want people to be left with an impact. You want people to be left with the biggest punch that's going to make them want more or get whatever they have to get. Now, this does not necessarily include a conclusion. This is just your manuscript about whatever you're writing. So that's the 231 technology. If you want to reorder your groups, you can do that now. You can pause this video and do that. I'll give you a few minutes to do that, or pause the recording before going on to the next slide. All right, before we go into parts the other parts of a book. So let me rephrase that. Before I go into the other steps, I wanted to tell you about the other parts to publishing a book. Writing the manuscript is just one part. And generally an author is required to write a manuscript, and you have to provide some kind of a bio. So one of the things that I do in my collaborative books, never mind that I do it, but as part of publishing a book, there are a whole variety of other parts to doing the book. So there's always a timeline, whether you're working with a publisher or you're self-publishing, doesn't matter. After you finish the manuscript, you have to edit. Once you've done the editing, there's the formatting. There's getting your bio forward and introduction ready. There is creating your front cover design or your back cover copy. There's marketing 2 weeks before your book launch and the actual book launch. And there could be marketing even after. When I do a book collaboration and I invite authors to write a chapter in one of my books, I do all this stuff. The only thing that the authors are left that they have to do is write the manuscript and provide me with a bio. And how I manage the bio is I ask people to send me a video of their of themselves speaking 2 minutes, a little bit about their background, and maybe some of the benefits of reading the chapter and a little bit about themselves. So they get to know you a little bit before reading the chapter. And I put that at the beginning of the chapter with your headshot. So it really becomes more of a personal thing. That's what I do in my book collaborations. If you're doing a whole book, I can coach you through all this stuff and support you with it. Those are some of the services that I offer. Let's go on now to step number 5. Step number 5, you now have points that are in your groups. So first of all, you're going to take those points and you're going to put them in the 231 technology and order them. Now you might have more than 3 points. So you want to make sure that you end with your most valuable one and you start with your second most valuable one and then put the rest in between. Do that with all 3 groups. That's the first part of this slide. The second part of this slide would be to then create 3 subpoints under each group. And again, do the 231 technology with it. Create it so that the last point also leads into the next point. Pause your, so this is a longer part of the exercise because you're creating a little bit more points and elongating a little bit more about what you're going to write. So pause this recording and do that now. So I gave you step 6 already, which was to reorder the subpoints and using the 231 technology. Go ahead and do that, or if you haven't done that, you can finish up. Step number 7. So decide on whether you're going to be writing an entire book or you're going to be part of a book collaboration. So that will determine how much of those points you're going to write about. So those points that you've created, you can elaborate on them, or like really strongly, you can create each one of those groups as a chapter or a section in your book if you want, or you can just say a couple of sentences or a couple of paragraphs and have it be part of a book collaboration. Either one works. So I would recommend pause the recording and just think about that for like 30 seconds. Book or book collaboration or both. You could use one to get your feet wet in book writing and then go into doing a whole book. Either one works. Step number 8, and this might be the most important step of all. In the old days, we're all given this vision of authors holding themselves up in a cabin with no distractions anywhere and, you know, writing their book. You do not have to do that anymore because we have technology, we have computers, we can move things around up and down, change things very quickly. All you need to do is schedule time each week to write your manuscript. And why I say schedule is because it's very easy to step over this. Because you may be thinking it's not the most important thing in your life. Now, why do I say that? Because I was there. I was there when I did my first book. I was wanting to write my book about time management for the longest time until finally I said, that's it. I'm going to schedule 2 hours a week. It was Saturday mornings from 9 to 11, and I did it once a week. It took me 6 months, but I got it done. I did a little bit each week, and I got it done. Now, I'm not saying you have to do only 2 hours a week. You can do as much time as you want. What I would say is I wouldn't do less than 2 hours a week, because 1 hour, your creative juices are just starting to get flowing. So 2 hours will allow you to make that dent. And I'm not really quite clear on what you want to know that I didn't impart, but I will suggest that if you do have something that you can email me, or if you have access to the to my calendar, because sometimes I put a link to my calendar with my webinars or my posts, that you could just schedule yourself in and ask me a whole variety of questions. Talking is free, don't worry. I'm happy to support you. It contributes, me contributing to you allows me to know that you are becoming self-expressed in the world, and that fulfills all my game for peace. So, so excited to do that. Again, the parts to publishing a book are all these. If you want my support, tell me. If you don't want my support with this, but you just want to ask me questions, feel free to do so. And I'm excited to have been here with you and doing this. I look forward to hearing from you or speaking with you, and even to tell me if this webinar made a difference for you. It would mean a lot to me to do so. This is Mimi Thrasher. Bye for now.